If your photos suddenly have these nasty spots on them and your camera sensor looks like this, then you're definitely in the right place now. Sensor cleaning can get pretty expensive if you're doing it in an authorized photo equipment service, but in many cases you can actually do it at home. I will guide you through the full process cleaning my Lumix S5 mirrorless camera and explaining each step as we go. So first, let's explain a few important things. As I have a mirrorless camera here, the sensor becomes visible just after removing the lens. If you own a DSLR camera, however, what you will see upon removing the lens is the mirror. To lift it up, in most cameras you will have to enter a lens cleaning mode that will hold the mirror up for you and keep it lifted when you're cleaning the sensor hidden underneath. If you cannot find such mode in the settings menu on your camera, or you don't know whether you should clean your camera while it's turned on or turned off, most of the time you can find this information in the instruction manual. This will depend both on your camera type and on the type of in-body stabilization it uses if such mechanism is present in your device. Remember that if you're cleaning a DSLR camera that's on, you should always start the process with battery level at least at 75%. This is to avoid the mirror suddenly closing on you. There is no such risk when it comes to mirrorless cameras. So let me show you how to quickly clean your mirrorless camera sensor using the K&F sensor cleaning kit. There are different kits for full frame and aps-c cameras, so make sure you've chosen the right one for you. I leave the links to all of these kits as well as their descriptions down below. First, you'll need to prepare a relatively dust-free workspace. This is very important as you don't want any additional dust to get into your camera during the cleaning process. Wipe the surface you're going to clean your camera on and make sure that no dust is floating around in the area. Besides the cleaning kit, you'll also have to prepare an air blower. I'm gonna be using a low-pressure electric air blower I got from Aliexpress. Don't blow on the sensor with your mouth. It's not worth getting spit or grease onto the glass protection surface. It can only further complicate the cleaning process. Using a can of compressed air is also generally not advised. Once you have your camera and the air blower at the ready, you can start unpacking the sensor cleaning kit. The full version should consist of a bottle of sensor cleaning liquid and 10 vacuum-sealed soft swabs, which can cover the whole area of your camera's sensor. This kit should last you for 3 to 4 separate sensor cleaning sessions. All in all, compared to the average prices of sensor cleaning services, this is a pretty cost-effective solution, even if you only get 2 cleans out of your set. Again, note if you don't have a full-frame camera like I'm using here, but rather one with an aps-c sensor, you will need to get another kit with differently sized swabs. Before we start the actual cleaning process, it's always good to use your camera's inbuilt sensor cleaning option to loosen up some larger dust particles that may be stuck to the sensor. The automatic sensor cleaning option, if it's present on your camera, most of the time simply vibrates the sensor to attempt to remove larger dust particles that may be attached to it. If you have such an option available in your camera menu, it may be worth to run it at least once before you begin. So now let's start the cleaning process. Remember, do all of the following in a relatively dust-free room. The first step is to remove the lens from the camera body. Set the lens aside in a safe place and cover its end with a safety cover to prevent any dust from entering. If you don't, the dust coming into the lens when you're busy with sensor cleaning can easily undermine your efforts when you'll be reattaching the lens at the very end. The next step is to use the air blower. Gently blow the air around the area the sensor is located in to remove all of the larger dust and dirt particles that can be stuck on it. If at any point later during the process you'll see a visible speck of dust land on the sensor, you can attempt to safely remove it using the air blower. Make sure that you don't touch the sensor directly and don't use high-pressure air blowers, especially if your camera features an in-body stabilization mechanism. To ensure that you got all the dust out, you can also hold the camera facing downwards during the process to let the largest particles out of the camera body. If you're extremely lucky, chances are that this is the end. Oftentimes, the larger pieces of dust can be rather easily blown away by the air in this first part of the process. In most cases, however, you will need to move over to the next step. And the next step finally involves using our sensor cleaning kit. The K&F cleaning kit does come with some rather simple instructions on the back of the packaging, which in my opinion are missing a few important remarks. So I'm going to explain a few additional things as we go. Now let's prepare the cleaning solution and the swabs. When you're doing that, you can briefly cover the camera body to prevent dust from getting inside. Grab the sensor cleaning solution bottle. First, remove the protective cap. Then, unpack one of the 10 swabs that come with the cleaning set. They should be vacuum packaged and perfectly clean. Make sure that you don't touch any dirty surface with the cleaning end of the swab before you use it to clean your sensor. An important thing here is that this particular bottle doesn't really make it that easy to measure 1 or 2 drops of the solution, which is what should be used for the cleaning process. As the solution is transparent and the swabs are white, you can easily overdo it and soak the swab too much, which can introduce smudges on your sensor. Carefully apply 1 or 2 drops of the solution evenly on one side of the swab. Then wipe the sensor from left to right using that side of the swab and from right to left using the other side. After you've done that, you can unpack another swab and repeat the whole process, this time without the cleaning solution applied. The point of the second pass with a dry swab is to fully dry off the sensor. Don't be afraid to apply some light pressure on the glass surface and make sure that you're using the flat sides of the swab to wipe the sensor's area rather than the tip. Use as many new swabs as you need to and don't get scared if you see smudges after your first try. If you use too much of the cleaning solution and get smudges as I did here, you can simply wipe the sensor clean with a new dry swab. Then you can repeat the whole process all over again. Discard the used swabs after you're done cleaning your camera and do not use the same swabs next time you're cleaning the sensor. The microscopic dirt particles accumulating on the swabs over time could easily cause damage to the sensor's glass cover, which is exactly why they come vacuum sealed. You can purchase the swabs separately without the cleaning solution if you find that you need more tries than you anticipated. Once again, I'll leave the links to all of these down below. Once the sensor is clean and dry, there are no smudges visible and you can visually confirm that there are no larger dust specks on the sensor's surface, you can carefully reattach the lens. If after reattaching the lens, turning on the camera and taking a reasonably bright photo of a blank clean white piece of paper with aperture set to the highest numerical value, you can still see some major dust specks on the sensor, you can repeat the whole process again, or if the sensor is clean enough for your liking, leave it at that. That's pretty much it. Remember to always use safe and tested accessories for sensor cleaning, as it really is the most important part of your camera. If you found this short video helpful, please do leave a like or a comment. I hope to see you next time. Bye!